I have it. I have July 2005. You thought you were going to make me work harder. Yeah. This is a good start. I quite like doing the magazines at the start because they're easier to cut the highlights. Right. That's a bit bright, I think. Down a few notches. Lovely. That looks pretty good. Don't know why that speaker isn't so in the way. There we go. Showing a game 2 years off sure is a move. Yeah. It is. I don't think it was called that, was it? It was just called Unreal 3 when it released. Wasn't it? Unreal 3. And it came out in... Yeah, it came out in 2007. Yeah, UT3, sorry. Yes, yes. And it's terrible. Hey, I don't remember it being terrible. I remember it being way too graphically... intensive for it to be a fun experience on the majority of hardware that people had at the time for an arena shooter. And I thought that the cool tripod vehicle was pretty cool. Yeah, well that's the thing. If you had hardware that was capable of playing UTO4, then you played UTO4 because UT3 was like the same engine as bloody Gears of War, whatever. I remember trying to play the demo and made my computer cry. But damn, it's graphically impressive looking. And it had a cool tripod with a big tripod walking robot thing that you get in, and the legs would like dynamically like go onto surfaces and stuff, and it had a great big laser. That was pretty cool. But it was sort of a strange move. They tried to do a Crisis and push the technology, didn't they? And realised that you probably need a single player game to do that, not a multiplayer game. Ooh, we got Prey. Oh yeah, I should do the thing, shouldn't I? Issue 156, I believe. Yeah, issue 156, July 2005, PCZone magazine. The first and best for PC games, it says. And I'll get my thumbnail. There we go. Sweet. Right, yeah, they figured out consoles were the real money was, and Epic hated PC at that point in time. I remember Cliffy just telling people to buy 360. Actual in-game screenshots, yes. All right. So apparently they got to pay a 2-year early version. It must have been very grey box. So yeah, Prey. Everybody's favorite Prey game that was released and not cancelled when it was near completion. Pretty cool. Is that a little blown out? Oh, wrong way. I know I should have it on auto, but it just doesn't do a great job sometimes, so manual it is. I wish you got the 98 Prey. I've seen there is some screenshots out there and tech demo me looking grey box stuff of their tech. Because it was in development like alongside like the original Duke Nukem Forever. Like that's how long the development was for the tech. And then in the end, they just gave up on building their own tech and used id Engine, whatever it is at that point. Id Engine tech. Id 3, Id 4, is it Id 4? Id 3? Id 3, I think. It was the Doom 3 engine, wasn't it? Modified Doom 3 engine? Hmm. Free play. Bulletin, Spurt Hitman, Blood Money, The Matrix, Path of Neo, and Call of Duty 2, and Fear. Some cool games. If anyone sees anything you particularly want me to stop and zoom in on, let me know. Otherwise, I will just be umming and ahhing at it and turning the page. More mention of Spore here. Will Wright spouting off about what it was going to be. Oh, the weird first-person 3D Worms. Worms 4 Mayhem. I guess it's third and first person. Anyway, yeah. It's Serious Sam 2. I wish Spore was good. Spore was good. It just wasn't very complete. Does that make sense? Yes, but seriously, folks, Serious Sam sequel preps itself to reclaim the throne of mindless shootage. Maybe. Who doesn't like some mindless shootage? Ah, the Ghost Recon games. Advanced Warfighter and whatever the other one was called. I never really played those. I played the demo, I think. Yeah, there's a really good video out there of all of the content that was shown in production or shown at various stuff, and it appeared to be a much more complex simulation game at various points, and then it really like carved it down into like a child-friendly experience and got rid of the SimCity parts and got rid of the evolution, like guided evolution parts and stuff, and just made it sort of like cookie cutter stages and stitched it together. I don't think he was happy about it in the end. I think it was a studio issue. EA, etc. Excuse me. Need some water. And my headphones are falling off. And my camera's not pointing at me. Wow. What is going on? Why am I so bad at this? Hello. Remember how Spore had that terrible DRM with like 3 install limit that even always just pirated it? Yeah. It was around about the time that was the dumb thing for EA. They did it with Dead Space and a few other games that came out around about then in 2007. Pretty much their whole roster, I think, in 2007 had that horrible DRM. Also, it's broke now. I tried installing Dead Space the other day. Not the other day. I think it was probably like 2 years ago. It feels like the other day. And it's just broke. You couldn't contact the servers, which means it couldn't verify how many copies you had installed, so it just assumed you'd run out. Stupid. Yeah, pirating. Just easier. There's lots of bloom in this game. Look at all the bloom. Bloom and Eck. Wow, this is... How many pages is this? Is this a... double spread. 1 double spread. 2 double spreads. 3 double spreads. 4 double spreads. 5 double spreads. 5... That's 10 pages. Yeah. And then, what everybody really wants, Battlefield 2! Da, 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 da. Yeah, what a great game. Age of Empires 3. That's the one that people didn't like as much as 2. And then it happened again when they did the remastered. Everyone was really trying to get like their 2D games 3D, weren't they? Even the latecomers. No. Battlefield 2 and its expansion had Commander mode, and then Battlefield 4 definitely had a Commander mode. Did 3 have a Commander mode? I feel like 3 did, and it was way more comprehensive than the one in 4. But then in 4, they turned it into a minigame you could play on a tablet. So you could airstrike people while you were pooping. It's odd to think you used to have to pay money to be advertised to, right? The internet surely killed this. No, wait, we still pay to be advertised to with Netflix and Disney Plus and... Did 2142 have it? I don't remember. I don't think so. Because the big mode in 2142 was Titan mode, wasn't it? Which was the control points that shot anti-shield missiles at your giant helicarrier. 2 and 2142, the ones you played the most? Yeah. Bad Company 2, I think, is the one I played the most. I mean, I've played a lot of Battlefield games. I like Battlefield. I'm sad now it's probably never going to be another good Battlefield again, but 6 is shaping up to be okay. I figured that it was better for the people who worked on it to get praise for their thing, and like so that they could get better jobs elsewhere after they'd all been let go by the new Saudi investors than boycott it because of the sale of EA. Because, you know, it's EA. Hey Trance, hey streamer, reporting for Bazite. Oh, from Bazite, you did it! How did the build go? How did the build go? Did you break anything? Trance built a computer upgrade, and he's put Bazite on it, because he's cool. Congratulations on Linux. Also computer. Oh, Quake 4. The one that people don't like, but I quite like. The intro is really great. And then the gameplay is pretty great too. Free ringtones? I should think so. The build did not go perfectly. I will say I ended up ordering an AIO to replace the air cooler I couldn't install correctly. But after that, it was all smooth. Yeah, AIOs are tricky, especially when they have like multiple brackets in them and they don't have clear instructions and just doesn't say whether you're supposed to install it before or after you put it in your case, and that's because they don't know if your case has got a hole in the back to expose the holes and blah blah blah, and then sometimes they have little springs or catches, and yeah, air coolers can be. I think that's fine. I think that's I think AI is the way to go anyway. A lot of systems these days expect you to have an AIO. And also, like, it's cool that you've got liquid cooling. You have a radiator and cold and hot water inside of your computer. It's the second Noctua air cooler you've given up on and 2 PC builds this year. Oh dear. And you don't have to worry about things growing in your coolant either with AIO, yeah. The movies. Okay, what was on that? The Tomb Raider Legend. The Regiment. I've not played the regiment or heard of it. Oh, I must have heard of it. I've read this magazine at some point. Toka Race Driver 3. Fahrenheit. Prince of Persia 3. Why take 2 Prince of Persias into the shower when you can take 1? Okay, thanks, Will Porter, for that interesting comment. This is the one where... Is this the one with the mask? Where you have to go back and see yourself so you can exist in the same timeline again? What? Sorry, it's this line here. Will Porter asks, why take 2 Princes of Persians into the shower when you can take 1? There's a 3 there. I guess 1 and 2 make 3, is what they're saying. It's not a very funny joke. Pop 3 is trying to be all the things to all people, but we're confident Ubisoft Montreal can pull it off. I'll get round to playing it on stream one day. Can't look, that's TOS. Can't see that. Digital Smut. Psychonauts. What a sweet game. I am the milkman. My milk is delicious. It depends how much they get paid to shill the game. Gaming magazine writers are funny, but if you keep that up, Ofcom will be here. Hell yes, Psychonauts! Yes. It's a PCZone classic, apparently. I love that they can call things a classic when it's a review. 90%. That's high praise. A lot of people didn't get this game when it came out, but all the people who played it loved it. Sacred Underworld. Never heard of it. Guild Wars. Was that your poison? Was it, Unix? Was that your MMORPG brand of poison? I used to play Guild Wars 1 and 2 a fair bit. You see, there's an MMO that gets their fingers in everybody. I bounced off WoW. I bounced off Guild Wars. I played PlanetSide. Final Fantasy 11. Fair. Another one of these team-based objective shooters. Multiplayer? Or is this single player? Oh, it's like a squad switching game. Single player. Cool. Oh. My goodness. There's a lot of some developer's face all over that. Jeez. Enough smut. More war. Tino were here, he would say wink wonk. Let's just see if he's lurking. Nope. For me, it was City of Heroes and Earth and Beyond before that. For how long that lasted, not long. It's the beginning of the age of strategy games which are more menu than actual strategy. Like Hearts of Iron and Co. This is a whole subgenre of strategy games, isn't it? They called grand strategy at this point. Stolen, I played a bit of that. I would like to go back to it. It was interestingly 2000s-y. Indie Zone. Dark Horizons. Lore Invasion. Looks charmingly jank. Dead hunt. Alien abduction. Tribal trouble. Don't know if my granddad plays games anymore. His PC used to have Civ 2 installed on it though, so he must have liked Civ at some point. So you're not wrong. The devil is in the details. CDV. I recognize that logo. Panzers! Codename Panzers! Storm Raid. Conflict Vietnam, No Man's Land, World War II, Frontline Command. Online Zone, a PC fantasy. Is that Phantasy Star Online? Yes, it is. Sega finally comes to PC. A new expansion for Sci-Fi Classic brings PvP to the fore. Guild Wars. What's the error message? It says Championship Manager 5 error. Championship Manager 5 has performed an illegal operation and will now terminate. That's Phantasy Star Universe, actually. It says Phantasy Star Online here at the bottom. Yup. Phantasy Star Online. So even if the editor put in the wrong image, I'm still right. I guess it's Blue Beast then. That's you. You sound like that. City of Heroes. There you go. Stat Zone Special. Oh, what's this? Clan Diary Truth. Yeah, these are always worth reading because they're so cringe. Clan Diary Truth. Anne Rogers, aka Jaffe. The Counter-Strike community is besieged with eczema. Excuse me, phlegm. I just realised I can't read this. Been staring at that ring light too long. So forgive me if my head gets in the camera. This Counter-Strike community is besieged with exams, though some have still managed to find the time for the Cyber Athlete Professional League. This year's CPL World Tour, visiting 10 countries, recently stopped in Barcelona. Interestingly, eyes. I'm getting old. Sucks. Interestingly, there was a $10,000 Counter-Strike 1.6 tournament for women run alongside one for men. Unlike in other stops of the World Tour, 16 teams were invited from all over Europe, and while they're just probably just called #truth because hashtags weren't a thing yet. #truth were unable to attend. A few of our members filled in for other European teams. Purple Tiger, also known as Laura, went with the Spanish team X6tenths.amd. Thankfully, most European teams can speak English, so it's not too difficult for English girls to integrate with the foreign teams. The competition was tough. This man's some reading glasses. Oh. The competition was tough, and Existence managed a 9 to 12th placing at the event with ESWC champions EIBO 5, China placing first. It was a hard event for all involved. Female matches were delayed in order to get the other games in, resulting in some matches being played as late as 5 a.m. Despite this, the teams produced some exciting games to watch, displaying just how far female gaming has come in the last year. In continental Europe, the media and the public have taken a huge interest in female gamers, boosting the popularity of gaming as a whole. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for over here. We thank those who do take an interest, the faithful sponsors and supporters who keep pushing our female gaming to grow. Keep pushing for female gaming to grow. But what is really needed is for more girls to actually play games and not just talk about them. Yep. If I was smart, I would be reading it off the screen, which is bigger. That takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? Still, the number of girls playing games in the UK is growing, just not at the same rate as it is for our European counterparts. As always, Truth are on the lookout for new talent for the post-exam period. Let's make a fresh start and tackle those summer leagues. We've partnered up with #E-Frag UK servers to give us the stable, low pricing base. The stable, low ping base that we need to really keep our hand in. Further helping the community, eFrag is offering a 10% discount on all game servers. Just quote PCZ on the order form at www.e-frag.co.uk. Check them out, and hopefully we'll see you guys at a LAN event or online in the near future. And in the meantime, keep gaming! There you go. Oh. It wasn't as cringe as I thought it would be. Just that we suck compared to Europe, of course. I already knew that. Yeah, it sounds like there was some segregation going on. It's dark. Why am I in the dark? There's a light right in front of me. Wait, does light just not throw any? Oh, whatever. It's fine. Face of Mankind. Don't know that one either. Oh, it's a Rihanna Pratchett thing. Rihanna Pratchett is very glad that black leather has made it to the 24th century. One of the more consistent gripes that we come across when interviewing independent MMOG, massively multiplayer online game developers, is that current online worlds are too focused on just creating pretty sandboxes. Sounds like a very Second Life problem to have. To be honest, given how I've seen a lot of competitive male gamers choose to be, that's probably not the worst idea. Right, for the safety of the female gamers. They have a right to not be harassed while tournamenting. Computer and video games. Europe's #1 gaming website. Fight Club. Guild Wars. The Saga of Razom. Battle for Middle-earth. Splinter Cell Theory. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Point of Existence 3. Frag Ops. Hollow Moon. Operation Peacekeeper. Guild Wars skips past it. I'll give it a perusal. It just looks like another MMO to me. Yep, there's some people that look like elves and magic people and an archer. Everyone who's female is wearing skin-tight clothes with revealing holes or no trousers. And all the men are wearing bulky, great big bits of armor or ridiculous wizard robes and capes. Yep. Not at all. What are these then? They run out of leather, did they? They just decided to have one not covered. I see man beefcake and probably drawn women. There's cloth under there. But he got a 94. I don't know why, but my internal voice in my head reading out all of those comments was a comic book guy from The Simpsons. There's a mod there called Hard. Lamau. Only the shoulders are bare, you Victorian. Steve Hill's NeverQuest. Steve Hill jacks into the Matrix Online. And then he jacks off. To quit. Because that would be the opposite of jacking on, right? Jacking off? No? We're sticking with disconnecting? Okay. Extra large XL. Official announcement from ATI. The 512 megabyte cards are in production. Gigabyte, Sapphire, MSI, and 8-bit are just a few of the names committed to bringing you 512 megabytes. The Radeon X800 XL. In time for the summer holidays. Benchmark graphs provided by ATI show that the half-gig card performs significantly better than its 256 megabyte counterpart at high detail, at 1600 by 1200 resolution, with 4 times anti-aliasing and 16 times anisotropic filtering. Frame rate tests from Half-Life 2, Unreal Tournament, and Far Cry at the 512 megabyte card. 1/5 faster than the 256 megabyte variety. Of greater interest was that the NVIDIA comparison tests against rival hardware on similar settings. The new X800 XL was ahead of both the GeForce 6800 GT and the Ultra in everything except for Doom 3, to demonstrate how the 512 megabyte video cards are capable of high definition rendering. Benchmarks were run at 1920 by 1440. What the fuck? God, is that a 16 by 10 resolution? Remember 16 by 10 screens when everyone thought that 16 by 10 was going to be the thing? When did the ATI brand get dropped? When AMD bought them. It was around about the time of the HD cards. I remember my HD 4850 being ATI branded. And I remember my 7700, HD 7700 being AMD branded. So somewhere in the middle there, probably. I think it was during the HD 5000 card launch, like halfway through. So I think there are some out there that are ATI branded and some out there that are an AMD branded. I think 1920 by 12,000 is 16 by 10. A friend of mine had that monitor. I believe this is from the same year that I probably got into PC building and picked up magazines that had benchmarks for all these exact games. 1920 by 1440 is 4.3 according to my calculator. Oh my god. What kind of crazy 4.3 monitors are people using with 1920 by 1040? And why did we not take that resolution and then widescreen that? So it would be like 1920... so it would be like 2... Oh wait, we did. That's what 1440p is, isn't it? That's like 2 something, 2048 by 1440. Oh my god, my mind. PenForce 4 gigabyte motherboard first to offer SLI to Pentium 4 users. Silence of the fans. 8-bit announces noiseless heat pipe arrangement for Northbridge chip. 2560 by 1440. Oh yeah. Resolution's crazy. Looking at this driver watch. Catalyst 5.3 is the latest and greatest. Released the 9th of March 2005. 23 megabytes. And Nvidia's Forceware is released 71.89 April. 17 megabytes. That's a handy little graph. Yeah, this is where it was all happening. This is the beginning of the end. Wow, these pre-builts. Oh my god, look at this thing. What the hell is that? Whoop. The Pyro 64 SLI. 2,252 pounds. Made by Wired to Fire. Wee she blimey, it says. I'm just giving up on subtitles and just making noises now. Strike me pink. Strike me pink. This thing's in a hurry. I've not seen many systems hit 120 FPS in the source test, but the Pyro's 165 FPS score was a real blowout of the water. It also shot beyond 20,000 marks in 3D Mark 03 and managed to get a 10,000, dash out 10,000 points in 3D Mark 05. Without the need for BIOS visits or winding up the video clocks or blah blah blah. Heaven knows what numbers it can do when you do that. Of course, we're talking a peachy keen processor, dual hotsy totsy video cards, and price tag to terrify the most extravagant spendthrift. Everything about this thing is over the top, and nothing more obviously than the thermal take Zazer 5 case. Given the choice, I'd opt for a smaller, less showy enclosure that doesn't have the manufacturer's name plastered all over the front panel in 11, count 'em, different places. The Zazer might be great for cooling and modding freaks with 6 fan control knobs, plus digital RPM and temperature readouts, but it has too many sharp edges and isn't practical to cart about. Luckily, Wired to Fire allows you to configure a different one at buy time. Cooler Master's Wave Master or Centurion 5 would be my choice, but that's a minor complaint. 86%. PCZone verdict. SLI ready, does work. Fastest thing we've tested. Downsides. No monitor. You can't afford it anyway. It's the downside. The top one, this one. Yeah. I feel like it's the Alienware clone case. They exactly the same frontage, but it would be in like that lime green, the ultraviolet green color. It's quite popular at the time. Damn. Oh no, it's the K7 M2 Delta. I had a very similar board that exploded. Watchdog. Oh, it's the buyer's guide. It's the A8V Deluxe. Is that an AMD? Yeah, it's socket 9398. Wait, I think I have an A8V in my XP rig. I have the SLI Deluxe version. It's black, cool. In fact, I have a few of these boards. I have a Neo as well. If you want to see more of my stupid socket 939 Windows XP boards, you can go and find the troubleshooting my XP PC video on my YouTube archive, where I rebuild the whole machine because it exploded. Fun times. Cases back in this era really did nothing to help the independent PC builder. It's kind of blew my mind to encounter my first modern PC case that had so many "we'll help you build this well" features included. Yeah, I remember just being amazed by drive rails and being like, you know, toolless, putting things on the side of your hard drive so you can slide them in, and then being like, but what if you lose them? And then realizing that on the inside of the case, like the inside of the side panel you'd removed, they were all like on the inside of the case, like screwed in, ready, waiting to be go, with a whole bunch of spares. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's cool. Half-Life 2, Far Cry, Doom 3, Call of Duty, Max Payne 2. Yes, Max Payne 2. I was thinking of playing Max Payne 2 today. I know we haven't played any games yet, and it's been like an hour and 20 minutes, but I'm having fun. Magazine's always fun. Yep, UT 2004, still at the top of the multiplayer shooters. CS Source, dipping in there. X2 The Threat, a game that I've owned for a very long time and never been able to get into. Not without trying. Very complex game. Those Germans know how to make their 4X space sims. Brothers in Arms. Another cool game. Oh, this is on the disc. On the disc, Brothers in Arms demo, Psychonauts, Cossacks 2, Pariah. I've played Pariah from start to finish. It is a bad game. If you are like, I would like to play a mid-2000s shooter that's kind of sci-fi, but not Halo or a good game, don't play Pariah. It sucks. It's janky. It's weird. The only thing that's good about it is one of the guns is really satisfying to use. The terrain is drab and repetitive. The storyline is drab and repetitive. It's not a good game. The demo was good, which is what made me play it. If you take the whole experience, the single player, and condense it down into a 20-minute demo, it's good. It doesn't need to be 8 hours long. I wish there was a proper revival of UT. Yeah, I mean, you used to be able to access the Unreal Tournament build that they were working on the Epic launcher, but I think it's gone now. I think it just takes you to takes you to Unreal Engine and be like, you could download the Unreal Tournament assets as a pack to experiment with UE. But I don't think you can play it like with servers and stuff anymore. Call of Cthulhu. Auto Assault. I love me a driving game with guns. I wonder what happened there. It's a glorified tech demo is what it is. Morrowind. Games that changed the world. Well, that's certainly true. There's a little timeline. Ultima 7, The Black Gate, The Elder Scrolls Arena, and then you've got the Arena, the Elder Scrolls timeline, and you've got Daggerfall, Elder Scrolls Legend Battlespire, Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And then you've got another parallel where you've got Gothic and Gothic 2. I didn't know they were related. Shows you what I know. Deluxe Paid Tim, hi, welcome. What a week, huh? Had a good week? Your week? How's it going? Oh, I see what they did there. Doing okay today? Good. Magazines aren't for reading, therefore reloading. Uh-oh. Battlefield 2, review and playable demo. Oh, yeah. And then it's just a bunch of ads with this hilarious fake one. Fancy some action? Would you like access to thousands of women from all over Azeroth who have one thing in common? They all want no strings attached action. There are thousands of eager women of all types waiting to have action with you. If you fancy meeting a horny Azeroth babe, there's a little asterisk next to horny, and I'm guessing there's an asterisk down here somewhere that says, please note that due to availability issues, not all of our babes will actually have horns. It's a joke about horns. They clearly couldn't sell all their ad space, so they just made a joke and put it in there. Oh, this is a paid-for ad by World of Warcraft. Trying to be clever. Because it's an advert for World of Warcraft. I left a message on a fake number and soon got chatting to Charlene, a 23-year-old night elf herbalist from Ashendale Forest. We exchanged lots of messages, and once we got over the language barrier, we both got really... I can't read this, it's cringe. More like World of Warcraft. Okay. There you go. That's 2005 for you. July, to be exact. Thank you very much for that redeem, Unix. We are all worse off for it. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's play a game. Let's try and rinse our eyes and our brains and play something.